Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rachel. That is the R in the RK Stumblingbear, and I am a reader and a writer. And I am back to let you know how I did on my WIC Readathon bingo. This was a challenge that I did for 2025, and I did not get a blackout, but I did get 3 bingos. The prompts I did not finish was a Middle Eastern or Greek read, a fanfic, a book with general appeal, oldest book on my TBR, or a cow on the cover. Cow on the cover was surprisingly hard to even find. Looking down, that's because my computer's in my lap, and that's where I'm seeing what prompts I did complete. For the speculative fiction prompt, I read A History of What Comes Next by Sylvan Newell, and then this was an alternate history sci-fi, where this alien race has come to Earth. The males are doing one thing and the females are doing something different. Females are trying to get this humanity into the stars. I found some new information about the space age that I did not know. I did not actually care about the characters. I found the aliens the weakest part. For the prompt of retelling, I used The River Has Roots by Amal El-Mukhtar. This is a story of 2 sisters who sing magic and protect their trees along this magical river. One of the sisters has an unfortunate accident, and then one of the sisters is murdered. And kind of that story of the murdered sister going to mourn the other sister reminded me of a couple different fairy tales. The more dark ones. I read this and really enjoyed it. Has some fantastic artwork, but I've heard from a lot of people that the audiobook, it makes the experience even better. So if you're interested, I would say go do the audiobook so then you get to hear the music as well. For my prompt recommended read, I read Role Playing by Kathy Yardley. I do have a physical copy, I just don't want to pull it out. Sorry. And I really enjoyed this sweet romance book. For the prompt cover read, I read The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches, which I would say is a pretty cozy fantasy, especially when we have Micah and the girls learning magic. But it does have a dark twist in this that I did not expect coming, but I don't think actually takes away from the cozy vibes at all. For a children's picture book, I have Home in a Lunchbox by Cherry Moe, and this is just a very sweet story and beautiful artwork. For a classic read, I have Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen. I don't think I need to explain why that's considered a classic. For the main character as a mother, I used Finley Donovan is Killing It. This is like a mystery thriller where the main character, Finley Donovan, is a murder mystery writer, and she gets mislabeled as an assassin and is offered a job. For Latina read, I am using the prompt of Yours Truly because Brianna Ortiz is Salvadorian, and a lot of people have said that Abby Jimenez got a lot of those Salvadorian traits. They felt seen, which makes sense. Her husband is Salvadorian. For the prompt Water on Cover or Water Words, I used Drowning Earth by Sean Wilson. This is a book that completely takes place on a submarine underneath the water. For Food as Community, I used The Serviceberry by Robin Wall Kimmerer. So she talks about how food practices and sharing between nature and your community. For my novella prompt, I have The Dragonfly Gambit by A.D. Sui. For a sequel, I used The Exiled Fleet by J.S. Dews. For a long book, I used the sequel, The Oleander Sword by Tasha Suri. For the main character works in healthcare, I used the book St. Elspeth by WIC Welker. For the prompt religion or spiritual theme, I used Our Lady of the Artilix by Andrew Gilsmith. For the prompt fruits or vegetables on the cover, I used The Teller of Small Fortunes, and this is by Julie Leong. So on the cover, hanging from the, I'm blanking on the word, the wagon, there's garlic, which counts. For my 2025 release, I used Death of the Author by Naneti Okorafor. For nonfiction, I used It's Not Hysteria by Dr. Karen Tang, all about women's health and women's vaginal issues. For A Change in Life, I have Whiskey and Warfare by E.M. Hamill. This also happened to be my favorite book of the year. Change in Life, I used Marin's spouse, partner died. So that is a huge life change. And then for genre blend, I have After Atlas by Emma Newman, and this is a mystery science fiction. So I feel very proud of what I did get read and how I did on this challenge. And I'm not doing one this year. I'm doing some other focus things, but I really enjoyed getting to have this experience. If you've read any of these books or are now interested in reading any of these books, let me know down below. Thank you and have a great day.